Wang Jian, do you think that China is developing its own cloud computing model? And if yes, how does it differ from the Western model?
Okay, I think we are doing different. I even hesitate to call a different model, and I would rather say it's different things.
Okay.
It's not just
so. To say the word model might be misleading.
Yes. When saying the model, basically saying, okay, we are doing the same thing with different model.
Okay.
But I want to emphasize we might doing different things. Okay. And let me elaborate a little bit.
Sure.
I think you probably, if you read the book, you can see that actually I emphasize one thing. I said, okay, there's no such a thing called 公有云 and 私有云. If you translate into the English and say there's no such a thing called public cloud and private cloud.
It will all be.
I'm sorry to say that I don't have the right English word for some of the conversation ahead of me. You might be the person to help you get the right English word. Okay. And so that's why let me using the Chinese word first. Okay.
Of course.
So there's no such thing called 公有云 私有云. If we really want to translate back to the English, then we can say it's the public cloud and the private cloud. Okay. And you know there's something they call the 混合云, this hybrid cloud.
The hybrid. Yes.
And you know why they have this paradigm? Just because the people they advocate for the private cloud is basically the traditional IT companies. Okay. So the reason they have the private cloud is basically to tell the people there's some security issue for the public cloud. Okay. So security is the key thing for that. And
so they play the security card.
Yes, play security card. And so that's why they want them to have what they call this hybrid cloud. Okay. And they never realized when you have a private cloud, have this environment, they basically said, okay, I don't want my data to flow on the internet. So this is not the essence of internet. Okay.
So again, we're not talking about data, we're just talking about information.
Yeah.
It's not data because it's not flowing.
Yeah, it's not flowing, it's just information.
Okay.
And it basically means it's offline way of dealing with the data. Okay.
So we forgot about the operation part.
That's
the yin.
Yeah.
What we just discussed.
Yeah, that's exactly true. So they're different from that.
Okay.
So what I want to argue, so actually 4 years ago, I'm not sure exact data, but you could check with the reference. Actually, even 3 years ago, I joked with the reporter. Okay, they asked me what's my view about the future of the private cloud. You know what is my answer? I joked with this reporter. Said, okay, I never heard about anything about I don't know the word about the private cloud.
Yeah,
okay.
What is this private cloud?
Yeah, what is private cloud? I never heard about that. Okay, that's the joke I made with this reporter. But the key idea, I want to make sure that the key thing is eventually computing as a utility. So I create the word computing as a public service. So if you want to translate into English, I want the utilities compute as utility. Okay. So I'm not sure whether they have the right word for that. Okay. And then I use an analogy. Said, okay, if thinking about when people have utility, electricity and water, do you worry about safety issue? It's safe. So any public service must be their first thing. The first thing is safety.
Safety, yes.
So there's no such a thing. If you call the public service not safe, it's a joke. Okay. You can't say your water supply from your tap is not safe. Nobody was using that service. Okay, so you know that the contradictory the conflict thing for this public cloud and the private cloud. So for me, there are anyone to talking about private cloud. They are still in era of computer. They are not in era of computing. That's my view. Okay.
They're still G1G, not G1.
So the box is more important than
the
service. So that's what I view about the. So for me today, even United States, they are still struggling with the box versus service. That's what I understand.